Okay. What do you see as the largest challenge facing Los Alamos County during the next 5 years?
It is business growth. It's this county is this county is in definite need of growing business. We have a lot of vacant commercial property. We have that is not in particularly good condition, unfortunately, a lot of it. We have a lot of opportunities for business to grow here, and I think we should capitalize on that. This is as a county now, notwithstanding what's going on with the National Laboratory, which will be their own thing. As a county, developing private industry is what, or private business is what we want to do. And the simple thing to do is to stand back and get out of people's way. That's the best thing government could do, is to make sure things are easy for people to do their small business, and then let them do it. And don't take credit for it. Don't say, "Oh, look what we just did. We put all these small businesses in." Just let it happen. And that is responsible government. It's hard to do when you're a person who wants to go do things like we're going to go make changes and do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to sit back and take a nap sometimes and say, okay, it is important that we make sure the playing field is level and that things are working, but that people can go do things on their own and take their own credit and use their own initiative, and they do their own thing.
So are you saying you don't think we need to go out and solicit people to start their own businesses? Or, I mean, I'm not quite clear on your answer.
No, I do not think we should. The environment needs to be good. If there's marketing that we want to do, that's not unreasonable. If we want to go do market, but we should not be in the business of dragging people in one at a time, saying, "Oh, we're going to go find this business. We're going to bring them here." That's not what government ought to be doing. And so what we should be doing is making sure the environment is correct. Taxation is good, regulations. Taxation is low, regulations are made sensible and reduced. And that land is available, which is our biggest thing here, is that the property is available, and that it's reasonable to build here. This is considered one of the most difficult counties in the state of New Mexico, which is considered a difficult state anyway, to build a building in.
Now, how does that tie into, you were just talking about the empty commercial properties? Shouldn't there be a marriage there?
Certainly. If you have empty commercial properties, so first of all, from the county standpoint, what you do with empty commercial properties is you don't hold out the opportunity that you're going to go buy it up and turn it into some new development or something like this. Because what's going to happen? People are going to sit around and wait for the county to come along and buy it all up and bail them out of these things that aren't working. You make it clear that commercial property has to meet certain standards. I mean, this is one thing the business does, the government does, is look, if the property is in disrepair, then it's going to get condemned. I mean, that's what's going to happen. That's normal things. If otherwise, we're not buying it, and we are not, as the government, going to come along and buy your property or lease it all up for you, and you're on your own. You are a businessman. You own this. It's yours. If the rates are too high and nobody's moving in, or if it's looking pretty scuzzy and nobody wants to move in there, well, that's your problem. And if it gets bad enough, then the government will move in. That, I'm very hands off, but at a certain point, if it gets bad enough, we'll say we're going to condemn that. If people are just sitting on land, that's a problem for our county. I mean, but it is their land to sit on. We can just make certain aspects that you can. It has to meet certain standards.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask you something. I didn't. The last two candidates I interviewed were Richard Hanneman and Ralph Damiani. Mm-hmm. They both are people that, the public radar is on. Richard writes a lot of letters to the
Certainly.
Monitor. Ralph used to be the editor at the Monitor, so they're both names we know. Mm-hmm. Now, Resident Davis. I should say I'm speaking with Anthony Davis, who's a Republican candidate for county council. What has been your involvement? Have you been to many council meetings? Are you aware of what they do through the Monitor? I mean, how are you connected?
I watch council meetings that are removed.
Okay, you watch them on TV,
yeah.
though. Okay.
Well, I watch them from from their minutes and streaming, but because I don't get PAC 8, unfortunately. But the council meetings, I don't go to them. That is true, and I'm not somebody who writes letters to the editor and has kind of that kind of presence. That's because I'm a conservative. I believe it is every citizen's right to not care about what their government does until they need to figure it out at Election Day. And they need to, well, before that, hopefully, they're actually making themselves aware of it. But they should be free to live their lives and not have to think every minute of, ooh, what's my counselor going to do to me today? They should be able to.
Fair.
Yeah, I mean, it's a freedom that we would like to be able to experience. When you have to worry daily about what's that council going to do now and what's this thing, that's not healthy. That's not okay. That doesn't mean you can ignore it forever, and it also means that at some point you do need to go serve in this. Because if the only people who go into government and go serve in government, and it is service, it's a lot of work. If the only people who do that are people who have an agenda for how they're going to make your life better, or have lots of things that they want to go do for you or to you, that can be a problem. What you need sometimes is people like me who think the government should really be fairly hands-off, and will make that effort to go into government, do it right, learn the rules, make sure that it's done correctly, make sure that everything's followed appropriately, and then get out and say, okay, I did no harm to you. I didn't do anything. I didn't come into your life and rearrange your bedroom or something like this. Your lamp is in the wrong place. We're going to fix this. It's the wrong light bulb, which I meant to be a joke, but it's not a joke. That sort of thing. Mm-hmm. You need people to run and serve in government who believe that government shouldn't be the center of your life. Mm-hmm. And it's not the center of my life. The county government isn't. It's off to the side. And now I'm going to go in there. I'm going to serve wholeheartedly, and then I'm going to go back to my dog and walks and things like this afterwards.
Okay. We just have a couple more minutes. I appreciate your being here this morning to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about how you feel. Is there anything else that you'd like to talk about this morning?
No, I mean, I didn't have a. I can talk on anything if you want. You wind me up and I'll talk on any subject. But whether or not it's an interesting subject or not is another question entirely. I will say for a second about being a small business owner here in town.
Okay.
High Tech was a small business. I mean, we were 30 people or so doing things in town, and we were existing here in Los Alamos, and we always said that this was an outstanding place to do business. The environment here technically is outstanding. The business environment here is very good. There's a few things government does that are not great, but it gets very irritating sometimes. Like, why are they doing this to us? We have no idea. We've just been sitting over here being good, trying to make a good product. But it is a good place, and so I've started my company here. I have every intention of staying here. There is no reason I can't have a company that produces professional camera equipment. And have it run. I mean, there's no reason it can't be right here in Los Alamos, employing people here, growing, thriving, and become
yet serving on the national level.
Well, hopefully international level. I mean, I want to. Yeah, I mean, I'm not in this to not make money. I'm in this to make hopefully a lot. I think my idea is pretty good. If it's not, I'll be out of business soon. I'll make another one. But if the idea is good, I hope that I and the community will prosper because of it. And this is a good place to do it.
Well, great. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. This is Anthony Davis, resident, I keep wanting to say citizen, Resident Davis, Republican candidate for a county council.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it, Nancy.